Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back with another comic book review. And normally I do 2 or 3 comics at one time, but this book was a little special to me, so I wanted to talk about this book by itself. And it is an IDW book, and it's Transformers Regeneration 1 number 100. And I gotta say, this is a fantastic book, a fantastic read. And I kind of want to give some background if you're not familiar with the Transformers comics. It's gone through a few different publishers. It was originally published by Marvel and started off back in 1983, I believe, 83, 84. Let's see here. 1984. It came out right before the toy line did. In fact, there's some commercials for it you can find on Retro Junk and YouTube that advertised for it. It was a Marvel publication, and it ran for 80 issues and stopped around 90, 91, something like that. Then the second run of Transformer comics were done by a company called Dreamwave, which was a fantastic company. Great comic books. It really reinvented Transformer comics, and to me today, when I think Transformer comics, my favorites really go to those Dreamwave books. They were just absolutely phenomenal. War Within was epic, and just really good characters, really great artwork. And some of those people came over to IDW after Dreamwave folded, and IDW Publishing came out with the Transformers line, which was great. And they've actually expounded on that line in IDW, which is really cool. But a few years back, they came out with Regeneration 1, which was the continuum of the Simon Furman Transformers comic from Marvel Comics. And they started on a free comic book day with 80.5. And then they continued on here to issue 100. And this caps the entire series. And it is a really good book. Just kind of look at it real quick. Here's the cover. This is the cover that I picked up. There were a few different covers, and it says number 100 in a 4-issue limited series, and that's kind of a play off of the original comic because issue number 1 was one of a 4 limited issue series, and of course it just exploded out. But this was the cover I picked because it had G.I. Joe on it, G.I. Joe and Cobra. And of course, the G.I. Joe Transformers crossovers are always popular. It was epic back in the day. There were some variations to the cover, and they're all on the inside, and I'll show that off. But I really wanted to pick this one up. This one sung to me because it had the G.I. Joe and Transformers, and it's the last time in this issue run, there was a story arc run that you see these guys together, although they're not actually in the comic. It was just a nice little cover piece. On the back, we have this really great Regeneration 100, the Transformers, from 1984 to 2014. So this is a really nice 30th anniversary piece that was put out. And here we have all the variant covers. In the book, we've got one that looks very similar to the very first issue of the Transformers, which I actually have. So now I have from start to finish, which is really cool, and some other variations, including a sketch and that kind of stuff. But this is one I really did dig. Now, basically, the way this book ends up, spoiler alert, if you haven't read it, please do not watch this video further. The Autobots get back to Cybertron, and this character, kind of a negative character, I can't remember what his name is. I really didn't pick a lot of the Regeneration books up. I picked a few of them up, but I was waiting for a trade for all of them, but I had to get this one. And so this kind of negative Shadow Leech villain has taken over Cybertron, and it's all about the multiverse. We find out that there is a multiverse with infinite Transformers. Of course, they're talking about all the different toy lines and cartoons and all that kind of jazz. And we see, let's see here, it's a really good shot. He ends up pulling a couple variations of Optimus Prime, which is kind of cool. He pulls Optimus Prime from Dark Awakening from the G1 cartoon series, of course, Power Master Prime, and then another version of Optimus Prime there, kind of nondescript version. We also see a lot of different hot rods, Rodimus Primes, which is really cool. We got the IDW version. There it looks like Classics version. There's animated. Generations version hot rod, so that was really kind of cool. And then there's another shot, if I can find it, really fast. Here we go. This shot is really nice. I do dig this, where it's got, let's see if I can get the glare out of there. We've got looks like a Transformers animated character, Jetfire. We've got a Beast Wars lion. It looks like Transformers Prime Starscream, Black Arachnia back there. So some really cool, just different versions of the characters. And of course, we've got the Golden Disc, which is really nicely Covenant Primus, the other Golden Disc, I suppose, which is really nice. There's some Unicron references in here. Good stuff. Yeah, here's a really good Unicron reference. Really good stuff. So basically, it's the whole the bad guy's trying to take over the multiverse. So Rodimus ends up finding some Optimus Primes, and Prime tells him, "Hey, you're the one who has to do this." So he seals the fissure to prevent the multiverse from getting taken over. Ultra Magnus ends up killing Galvatron, which is really cool. There's this whole bit with Magnus and Galvatron. Where's that? Here we go. A really nice scene where they're going at it, and he's like, you said that we're supposed to do this over and over and over, and I really like that, because in the old toys, Galvatron and Magnus were city commanders, and they were supposed to be the opposite for each other in the toy line, which was really cool. So Magnus ends up killing Galvatron, which is pretty cool. Spike, of course, is in it with blonde hair, which is, I don't remember him with blonde hair in the comics, but is what it is. And then we have Optimus dying in Rodimus's arms, very a la Transformers the movie, which is really cool. And there's a really awesome shot where Rodimus is kind of talking super old at some point in the future, and he goes on how it's all over, and he kind of collapses. He's the last one, and then his energy spreads to these pods, and it looks like Botanica popping up down there, which is kind of interesting. But then the rest of the book is just kind of some writers' bits. They're talking about different characters. We got Ravage and different memories and background kind of stuff. Really cool picture of Rodimus. Screamer, and then Megatron, Prime, Galvatron, and Rodimus. And then this is the coolest part. And I'm going to kind of pan through these. You can pause and look at them if you want. These are all 100 issues of the Transformers. Just really cool that they did that. And it's a few pages long. I just really did dig that. I thought that was very cool of them to do. I mean, literally pages long of all the different covers from the Marvel up through Regeneration 1 covers. Of course, the Regeneration 1 covers from IDW. Very cool stuff. Some of them are nice homages to the original books, which was very nice. And then here at the end, here's the last of them, kind of going through. And of course, they use the variant of Regeneration 100 as the basically the same book as the very first one, and then they're end words by Simon Furman, which is very cool, which is nice. I'll go ahead and sit here, and I'm not going to go over that. If you want to pause and read that, you can. It's a very nice little goodbye that Simon Furman has said to this series. So it is now done. The original Transformers comic has been completed in the 100th issue of that storyline from Marvel Comics now through IDW for the 30th anniversary from 1984 to 2014. Check out Bob's words. I think they're very poignant, very cool. Very cool stuff. Probably one of my favorite things to come out for the 30th anniversary of Transformers. And if you have not picked this up, if you're a comic book fan, it's definitely a mile marker comic book. I would go ahead and pick it up. If you're a Transformers fan, this is a must-have to put into your collection. So there it is, Transformers Regeneration number 100 in a limited 4-issue series, or 4-issue limited series. Very cool stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. Look for more videos in the future.